We're having people join us now.
Welcome. Thanks for stopping in.
It's on my eyeball.
We're still getting a little bit set up here, just doing the pre-show, so bear with us. Let me readjust and give you a good look at my hair.
You do need to adjust. We do need the hair cam.
Yep, people loving that hair cam. Alright.
Quick game check. Looks good.
Looking good.
Alright, we've got 17 people with us now, so we'll just let you know that this is the StarCraft 2 Community Team League. We're just in our pre-show phase here, about 10 minutes or so to let people join. We've got 8.5 minutes left. And in that meantime, we just wanted to usually talk about a little bit of news or things that are going on in the community. And today, I mean, it's not exactly new news, but we haven't talked about it yet. And that would be balance changes.
Yep.
So there's several coming down that they're proposing in a test map now. One is, I believe, for Zerg Vipers to come out with full energy.
Mm-hmm.
And for Terran, it's for air and mech attack upgrades to be combined. And, of course, nothing for Protoss. How do you feel about that, Gallagher?
You know, I think that they make sense. You know, I'd like to see some of those changes made. You know, it's possible that in the current configuration you don't see a lot of like balanced mix between air and mech. You know, like typically you'll see like maybe a few Banshees, a decent number of Vipers, or not Vipers, Vikings, and then your mech. You know, and you're moving in with that, but not the. I mean, the air count is way lower than the mech count, and the mech count usually has the upgrades, and the air doesn't. So this may swing the scales a little bit in terms of army compositions. It's possible people will be more apt to go air than they were before.
So, so the thing that I find is, okay, so one, it's going to be bad for Protoss, because now, well, first of all, mech is just bad. And I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But, so the one thing it is bad for Protoss is if there's a Terran that's going maybe tanks with the bio, or, and then you go Colossus, which you do, that makes your Vikings that much better. Because usually Vikings are a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to just thwart the Colossus, but if they actually get the upgrades when you're upgrading your tanks anyway, I feel like that's going to be a little bit scary. But as far as for Terran and Zerg, I mean, they were trying to buff Zerg to assist with Protoss.
I thought it was for Terran. I thought they were saying for the late game Widow Mines.
That's the Overseer speed upgrade.
The Viking.
They were buffing.
Right? My bad.
They were buffing the full energy at spawn for Vipers to strengthen Zerg against Protoss, and you know, obviously because of the Colossus, the Archons, what have you. So in the discussion I watched Inside the Game today, and Jeff was talking about it, and the discussion was that it's not going to change things that much, but it basically shortens the time to effectiveness by about 30 seconds. So you get your Vipers, you would make a bunch of Evo chambers, and you would have them at full energy pretty quickly. It's usually about 30 seconds. But so that quickens that. But by doing that, you also screw Terran, because you have Vipers that come out and you're trying to make mech viable. And but I just wanted to share a little bit of friendly Protoss rage. Hide your kids, hide your wife. It is in control, so there's a little bit of language. So check this out real quick.
And you're about to enter into the tearful Protoss stage, so if that hurts you, fair warning.
Can you hear this, Nick?
I think that in theory, this patch is one of the most hilarious things I could ever see, because it's like Zerg and Terran for 1 month dipped in winning percentage, literally 1 month. Every other month they're dominating. Protoss is by far the third best race in StarCraft, so for 1 month Protoss figures it out. Blizzard's like, I imagine like there's a battle room with like red spinning lights with like, the Protoss are actually fucking winning, get it now. And everyone's like running in, like they're putting on the checks, what's going on? And they're like, the Protoss are winning, I don't know how they're doing this. And they're like running in and they're typing up like, what have they done? They've innovated. God damn it, they're figuring out things. Well, they're like, well, let's talk about this. We know what we were supposed to do. So they're like putting their heads together. But I still laugh because despite the winning percentages, they still can't win like a goddamn tournament outside of WCS EU where Duck Duck manages to out PvP everybody else. So like, there's one. But he just barely avoids MMA, who surged for it anyways. And then anyway, whoever ruined things by beating... Actually, Grubby beat Vortex. But it's funny to me because it's literally 1 month of this winning percentage turnaround. Still only one tournament was won by Protoss. And immediately Terran and Zerg are looking at buffs. But even inside of that, the Protoss brain in me can't help but to laugh because they're still confusing themselves because they're like... Because David Kim is like, we would like to buff Mech Terran in TVZ because we... Or just in general because we noticed that it's strong... but nobody's quite using it. On to the next one. We would like the Viper to start with full energy because we want it to be strong against Protoss. But someone should have been like, yo, David! Doesn't that, like, completely fuck Mech over? And he's like, we'll see in the test round. I don't know. Maybe. So
there's a little... tidbit from Jeff In Control Robinson regarding the changes. As I was saying about the apparently someone didn't get the memo about trying to buff the upgrades for mech to make it viable, but then saying, oh hey, let's buff the the Vipers against Protoss and undo everything we wanted to do to buff Terran.
Well, I can already see David Kim's reaction, which is going to be, well, that's why we just made it a test map and didn't make it go live right away.
Well, yeah, but as far as the history of the test maps now, I think the last 2 or 3 when they've proposed changes, the changes have undergone some revisions, yeah, but for the most part, I think, I don't know the exact percentage, but an alarming percentage of the changes in the test maps actually have made it into the game. So, the Warp Prism speed buff was the last one, along with the Reaper semi-nerf. I don't really consider that a nerf because they're just more annoying now. They just don't do as much damage.
Yeah, I mean, they restructured basically the utility of the unit.
Yep, but as we have about 2 minutes left here, we're just doing a little bit of chit-chattery about StarCraft things as we give people 10 minutes to join, which when we went live at 8:20, it's now nearing 8:30. We got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left until we go live with today's games. This is StarCraft 2 Community Team League. Do us a favor and follow us at WingNetSC, at Galligation, at SC2CTL. Find our tweet and retweet it. Actually, do you have the link to the Reddit post here real quick? I'd like to put that in chat and have you...
I don't have that.
Share it.
Right now.
I'll find it.
I think that Troy might, since he was the one who posted it.
I've got it. It's right.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Well, I do have an update for those of you who follow our show and are used to us doing giveaways. Hey, Troy beat you.
Mine's cooler though.
Oh, it is. So those of you who follow our show and are aware of the giveaways, last week we gave away fruit snacks and a marble. This week, we are proud to announce that we are giving away a holographic Charizard card, an energy to power said card, and if things get a little too hot, as
it's getting
Troy said, you can cool off with $1 off some ice cream. So
where's the coupon for anyway? Is this a local thing perchance?
I'm not entirely sure.
Do we have to come to Canada to use it?
Troy would be able to answer that question better. I'm sure he will get to it in the chat. I mean, it's got some French on there. Maybe anywhere that's French or English.
French. It must be Canadian.
Yeah, a little bit. So, offer valid only in Canada, apparently. So, for our Canadian viewers, extra incentive. Otherwise, for our American viewers, or European, or anywhere around the world, you now have additional reason to want to travel to Canada.
Absolutely. And with that, our time on our pre-show is up, and we are going to get started with the show. This is StarCraft